Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do so by clicking on the subscribe button right below. And so today I went back to my introduction video and I actually did a checklist of what we've covered and what we haven't covered. And I realized there's a very important part that we're missing, and that is relationships. So I thought this would be a perfect time to bring along someone very special, someone I call my husband, someone I call Sipho, who is Nosipho's hubby. So I really hope you enjoy this episode as we talk more about our journey and as we open up and let you guys get to know us some more. Hello, Sipho.
You know that's okay, right? No. Babe.
Okay. Okay.
Guys,
Hello, babe. Welcome to Nosipho Kumeta's YouTube channel.
You even forgot your name now.
I'm like, who am I? Please forgive me. This is going to be a very interesting ride for me. You'll see a side of me that you haven't seen before, and I guess that's what I love about you, babe. That you bring out that fun side of me.
I don't bring out no school.
You don't bring out no school.
Who do you bring out?
Okay, let's focus, baby. We need to do this for the viewers. Focus. Husa. Okay, so baby, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You are meeting my friends, my family for the first time.
Hi guys.
I'm so happy for you to join us today, and
That's great.
I hope that whatever it is that we're going to share is going to be impactful.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to do much talking. I'd like you to be the one that talks the most today.
Okay.
Because I usually do the talking in the channel.
Cool.
So I'm sure you'll know because you obviously always behind the camera.
Yeah.
So I want you to do more talking today because I know you speak well and you have a few wise things to share. So I'll let you do most of the talking. So can you tell us what it is that we're going to be discussing today? What are we going to be talking about?
I must say, first of all, this is a bit, I'd say, unusual because I'm usually on the other side of the camera.
On the other side of the camera, yeah.
So I feel like now you've just taken me out of my shell, But nonetheless, we are just going to be discussing our journey, how it all started, how we met, and basically what we truly, what we value, what our values are in this marriage of ours, in our relationship, which we believe that it's more of a ministry. So it's more than just a typical marriage. It's more than just a typical relationship. So it's more of a ministry, and how basically we're all about touching young people's lives, and that because I believe that God put us together for a reason. God actually brought us together to actually expand his ministry, and basically his word, so he's using us as vessels. So it's him who's actually preaching through us, So we should actually take that and share it with the rest of the world. So that's why I really do appreciate this opportunity that you've actually given to us, because it's not a me thing, I do appreciate the opportunity that you've given to us, and to show the world that basically God still exists, God still ministers through couples, God still ministers through relationships, So it's basically that. So yeah, it's an honor and a pleasure. So we're gonna have a lot of fun, and we're just gonna talk about our journey. Yeah. We're gonna talk about where we come from, how it all started, and there's just a lot.
There's a lot to share indeed.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you spoke about ministry, which is something that was more revealed to us quite recent. So we are very private people. By private, we mean that you'll know that we are married, but you won't know much about us. if you go to maybe your page, baby.
Yeah.
It's so awkward because most of your pictures
it's you, right?
but like it doesn't
Yeah.
say more than just a picture of my wife, and
Yeah.
even on my side it doesn't say more than just a picture of my husband and a picture of our wedding day. So this is the first time we'll actually be more vocal about our relationship, and we're actually putting ourselves out there. And so I know that it was not an easy decision for both of us, because this is something that we're not used to, but we understood the calling and the need to spread this ministry that God has created through us. So we're very honored actually to be chosen to be sharing this with the world, you know, to be ministering that, hey, black child, there actually is something called love. And, you know, if it's done in a godly way, then it really is amazing.
No, true. I agree.
So back in 2008, I was in grade 11.
Are you sure it's 2008?
I am. What do you mean?
Okay. No, I'm just making sure.
It was 2008.
Okay.
So I was in grade 11, and you know, remember the mixed days? Like every time you would come across a friend who lives in a different area, you would sort of exchange contacts so that you don't get bored by chatting to the same people.
Yeah.
So I had this cousin of mine. Do you want to comment?
No, I mean, we're gonna get to that later as well.
So I had this cousin of mine.
On how everyone's your cousin. So yeah, I know. Cousin.
We are all born
Friend. Okay, technically cousin.
we are all born by one God. We are made by one God. So practically, in my opinion, we are all related.
Yeah.
So this cousin of mine went to the same school as you, babe. So we were at my house, and I asked her to exchange contacts. We used to do a lot of sleepovers then. So I asked her to give me contacts because I was getting bored of chatting to the same people. And then she gave me a list of 3 Sipho setus. And then he was obviously one of them. And we continued to chat on mixits and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, for some reason I was more drawn to you than all the others.
For obvious reasons. Obviously, baby, you're gonna be drawn to me. Because I'm the Sipho too, and the only
Stop
Sipho
it.
too. Carry on, go on, that's
Okay,
fine.
so I'm obviously chatting to him more. So we started chatting, and then it got to a point where we thought, okay, we're ready to meet now. Okay, fine. It was, I think, midterm, so it was around June or so, and I had to go to school. So I went to school in Lawford High, and I stayed there in hostel. So I'd come back every Friday, and every Sunday I'd go to school. And then for some reason I was home, and then I had to go to school in Nosipho to get my report. So then we arranged that we meet in Malalan, and then why are you laughing?
Yeah, don't forget to tell them what keep keep. You're wearing a Makip t-shirt with cavelas.
Listen,
guys.
Makip never cavella with the ish in those days. It was the in thing. I looked attractive.
You did, obviously.
Okay, fine, baby.
Yeah.
So I went to Lawford High, and then came back, obviously going to fetch my report. So I came back, and in Malalan, that's when I met you. You were actually with a friend of mine who I went to school with. So at first I'm wondering, who's this guy that's with my friend? Yeah. So I decided I'm not going to say hi to my friend because now he's walking with some random guy. And it didn't click initially.
And that guy was your future husband.
I'm like,
wow.
And initially it didn't click that was you. And then only when I went inside Spa, I'm like, actually, that could be the guy that I thought I was going to meet today. Okay, so I go inside Spa, buy whatever that I wanted to buy. I think I was buying milk tart because I was quite addicted to milk tart. So I bought milk tart, and then...
Makes sense though.
What makes sense?
Yeah, your addiction to milk tart.
But I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, but you still have a sweet tooth. You've had a sweet
You
tooth.
are misbehaving.
Okay.
Okay, so I get whatever it is I wanted to get, and then on my way out, as I walked to catch a taxi back home, I then bump into you.
No, you didn't bump into me.
What happened?
I approached you. I said, hi.
Okay.
Hey, good day. How are you?
Okay, fine. Someone was brave
And I was
enough
like,
to
Nosipho, right? And you were like, yes, who are you? I was like, oh, Johan, come on now. But yeah, that was about it. And then from there, we had a chat, and I introduced myself formally because it was our first encounter.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the rest is history. Is it really history?
Yeah, I guess so. So okay, so I need to say this, right? So I saw Setu, Sipho. This is a bit confusing. You must decide which name you want to use, okay? Okay, so
Yeah.
I saw Baby for the first time, and then I was attracted to his eyes more than anything, because I'm like,
My eyes.
this guy is wearing eyeliner.
Wow.
Because even now, if you look closely, you obviously can't see it on camera, but you have like this lining under your eye, and it almost looks like you've got eyeliner on. So I was like,
Is it?
quite obsessed. I'm like, who's this guy who wears eyeliner at this day and age? And then I realized, no, it's actually not eyeliner, but you know, it comes natural.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went home, and I can remember that we did not sleep that night. We like went on and mixed it.
Yeah.
We chatted, we exchanged pictures. How old was I? Was I 16?
You're very young. In 2008.
8.
No, you're 15.
I was 15 going on 16.
You were young.
I was young, babe.
But I was 18, so it's fair.
Yeah, but child abuse.
No, this was child abuse.
Okay, fine.
I was young, yeah. I was 18. I was a teenager. You're also a teen, right?
Yeah, I was also in my teens.
Yeah.
So I then decided to. Yeah, so we chatted that night, and we went on, and then we decided to meet again. And the second time was at church, because then it happened that we went to the same church at that time. I don't know if we went to the same church or you just decided to come to my church. Be honest.
No, I decided to come to your church.
Okay.
Yeah, because I used to go to another church.
Okay.
So, but I think was it Easter's?
It wasn't Easter's, but it was a national convention.
It was the convention. You guys at the national convention. And then, I decided, no, I told my mom, I'm going to church. Mom was happy, obviously.
Obviously, no mom's going to say no to you.
My son's going to church, yeah. But, yeah, and then we actually used to hook up at church. And that was actually quite great. And
yeah. I think, that built a good foundation for us.
Yeah.
Because most of the times we'd meet at church, either convention in December or Easter's.
So church is quite safe. Yeah.
Yeah. Besides,
Besides
I won't
what?
expose you.
Church was safe, man. Like, I mean, we could have met anyways. Imagine if we had met somewhere where there were no old people around, there were no adults, guarding us. And
which then leads us to the next point, which you're going to elaborate. I'm not going to get... Okay. So, baby. Okay, so that's in 2008, right?
Yeah.
And we continued to date for the year. It was sort of in December that we met, and then we officially started dating on the 1st of January 2009.
Yes.
And then we dated for the whole year.
Yeah.
And then 2010 happened.
Yeah. Move right along. Yeah.
Okay. Someone had a bit of an entanglement in 2010.
No, there was no entanglement, man, baby. Come on.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I was on a journey of finding myself.
Oh yeah,
okay.
that's what you call it. I forgot.
Yeah, I was on a journey of finding myself. Look, I had just hit the big 2-0, so I was
And
just
you
trying
had
to find
moved to
myself.
Pretoria for the first time.
So it was first time out of home. first time being in a big city, and yeah, a lot was happening.
Okay, so we were separated for the year 2009 while I was doing matric with that, which
it
actually helped me.
Yeah, it was good for you. It actually did help you. It was actually good because now you had a chance, an opportunity to focus on your studies.
Yeah, but you still costed me that one.
Let's say that I was giving you an opportunity to focus on your studies.
Okay, fine, baby, I'll take that.
Yeah, and it was basically a decision that we sat down and both made together.
Okay, fine, I'll take that. That's fine. It's okay. I mean, I have you now, so it's fine. Okay, so right, so we break up in 2009, and then 2010 we break up, and then 2011 I move up to Joburg to study, and then by coincidence we actually meet in Pretoria. So we were in contact before, but we were not dating. We just had each other's numbers, and sometimes we would annoy each other.
Who would annoy who? Let's be fair. Who would annoy who? What do you mean?
Get into that. But in a nutshell, so we bumped into each other in Pretoria.
Yeah, and then from there, man, I think that night, that night that we met, that's when everything started.
Yeah.
That was a life-changing moment. Little do we know, little did I know, little did you know. You know, that interaction or that encounter, you know, would lead to us being here today, would lead to us being husband and wife today, would lead to us being the Gumedis. So that encounter we met, and I was out with a group of friends. Baby was also out with a group of friends. Yes. And then we bumped into each other, and I was like, wow, hey. And you were like, hey, you too. And you were quiet. I think you were upset at me. You were still angry at me, right? And you're reluctant to actually chat, and I asked you if we could just give me a minute and if we could just chat. And then that minute turned to an hour. I think so. It was an hour or so, right? And ended up being antisocial to my friends, and you were also antisocial to your friends because you guys were going across the street.
So what were we chatting about? I can't remember.
No, we were just chatting like, love Bagnyana, hey, you still around, I miss you. And it was that, me telling you that, hey, I miss you. How are you doing? Are you good? Are you okay? What's going on? What are you doing here? And it was that. And then, like I said, that was a life-changing moment in the sense that I didn't carry on with my night. Someone did, but I decided to go home after that, to my place, and then just to sleep. Right after that. And then early in the morning I called you. I'm like, nope, you cannot leave Pretoria without seeing me. So let's do this. I'll take you to the taxi rank, right? And by taking you, I don't mean driving her. I meant we're gonna take a taxi. No, yeah, we're gonna walk, and then we're gonna catch a taxi to town, and then walk to the taxi station, right? Yeah, to the taxi rank. And that's what we did, walked, then took a taxi to town, and then walked to the station. And then from there, we just started chatting on a regular basis. We started calling one another. We spent time over the phone, and we started talking about the future. I think that's very important. We started speaking about the future, and I believe that's when I shared my vision with you.
Can I ask you something? Did I give you a hard time?
Yeah, oh, yeah, you're angry, but no, the second time around, no. Wasn't that?
Wow, you're so full of yourself, baby.
But
so
no, but you did. I mean, obviously, I had to I had to pay the price, you know, like everybody else. But I had to pay the price, you know. It wasn't easy, right? Because hey, this woman, guys, she made me sweat.
Oh,
you know?
wow!
Yeah,
Don't
so,
get into the details now.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But
So,
I think from there, that's when we started talking about the future, and that's when we started shaping our future and started talking about where we're going, direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny because then we would actually speak about, babe, when we're married, and this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. In terms of commitment as well, we spoke about that. Do you want to touch on that?
Okay, so I think I can. So we finished 2011, right? And we're in different places. I'm in Joburg and you're in Pretoria.
Yes.
We obviously meet where we can, but it's mostly
weekends.
Over weekends and over the phone. We spend most of the time over the phone. So the important part is when we reconnected for the second time, I think we spent quite a lot of time investing in our relationship again. So getting to know each other and rebonding, especially after the hurt or whatever it was that you want to call it.
Yeah, after that period. It's funny because like the reason why I want to share this, it's very important, you know, for young people or for people that are dating right now and who might be just taking this as another relationship, as another encounter, as another courtship, if they are courting, you know, that it was there and there that at that second encounter that you're talking about, where we sat down and said, okay, are we now going, are we getting back together again? We started there, right? What does it mean? That's when we set, that's when we basically drew the objectives and say, okay, this is what this relationship will stand for. You know, that this is not just gonna be another relationship. We did say that.
Yeah.
I remember.
So, but you know, I like that you mentioned that because I feel strongly that had we not gone through that period of, you know, playing around for like the year or so, we wouldn't have had the courage to, you know, really focus our minds in what exactly it is that we want to get out of our relationship. So I think that period of hardship actually helped us in terms of really aligning our lives and aligning our relationship to be what we want. So we decided intentionally that, you know what, we've played around the first time around, but now we are actually going to do something about this. We know and we've seen that we're quite connected. We know and we've seen that we get along. So now it's time to actually do something about it instead of just, you know, playing around like other kids. And so we started planning and we started talking about the future. And
we started putting timelines as well to say, by this time, this is where we're gonna be in our lives. At this time, by this time, this is what we're gonna be doing. You know, we're gonna be at this stage, and this is what we're gonna be doing. And I think we've done fairly well. You know, and it's funny because God was also the foundation of all of this. That's the most important thing. You know, like God was there from the beginning. You know, we even prayed. Even when we had that encounter, we prayed, you know? We asked God to bless this union. Like, and I mean, you would say, we're in our early 20s, and you'd say, what are these young kids doing, you know? Because around us, we were surrounded by, I mean, growing up fairly, like I said, I was the life of the party. I was that guy, you know? And for that type of person to commit, you know, or committing in my circle of friends or in my environment to have a girlfriend and say, you know what, I'm gonna have this girlfriend and I'm gonna commit and I want to build a future with her, right? It was uncommon, you know. It wasn't common, like it wasn't the typical thing to do.
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean.
You know, so involving God helped a lot. You know, from the beginning. That's why I think more than anything, it's not our doing. It's not our might. It's all in God's hands. You know what I mean? Our relationship.
And I feel like, you know, it's quite important for us to mention the fact that at that point in our lives, we were not like hectic Christians. We were not like fully devoted.
Yeah.
All that matters was that we knew who God was, and we knew that He's the creator and founder of everything, and if we want anything to succeed, we need to involve Him. So it's not like we were, I mean, He was the life of the party.
Yeah.
I was also trying to find myself. I mean, I was new to this, you know, freedom thing. So I was also trying to find myself, even though I was a lot more disciplined than some people I know.
Yeah, look, I wasn't even the term or word Christian was a bit far off, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was a young dude, young guy who was just out there having fun, doing his own thing, you know? Yeah. But funny enough, I think that's why I'm saying that it wasn't by our might nor our power or by just our doing that this happened, you know? It is, I believe this marriage and this union was ordained by God Himself, you know?
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, like you're saying, I was the life of the party. I was out there doing my thing. You were out there having fun, still new to freedom, you know? But yeah, so that happened. And then from there, then I moved to Joburg in 2012.
Who made you move to Joburg?
Not you, babe. But you know, I had to move to Joburg for school. So I moved to Joburg, and I think now that I was much closer, right? And this was the year as well where I had decided to change my ways, you know, and that's why most people that know me before then, you know, they don't know the Sipho, you know, they know the old Sipho, you know, and there would be the shock in terms of behavior, the way of doing things, you know. So 2012 was a big change for me, and I think for us as well, because that's when I moved to Joburg, and from there we started hanging out a lot. We started spending a lot of time, you know. I think someone is happy that baby's around, the boyfriend is around.
Yo, I lost so much of my friends.
It
was hectic. Hey, I lost so much of. I lost most of my friends. Like I used to have like a group of friends in first year, and then Sipho came along, and like I was just this loner. I had friends in varsity, but yeah, it was friends that I intentionally engaged with for studying purposes. So it was friends that I knew would push me to study, but it wasn't friends who I hang out with them. It's only like here and there. But I shifted closer to you, given your move to Joburg, and I think that's where we built the foundation of our relationship. I think the 4 years that we spent in Joburg while studying really built who we are today, because that's where we really defined our principles, and we paved the way to us being where we are today.
Yeah, and the future generations.
And the future generations. Okay, so like I said earlier, that I mean, I lost a lot of friendships, especially during my varsity years, in pursuit of growing our relationship. So I know you can talk more on that, because you also lost quite a few friends.
Yeah, I did. I did, because you became my friend, and you became my best friend, and since then it's been best friends.
You've been my bestie.
Yeah, I've been your bestie, right? Yeah. But yeah, so what happened was Nas and I became best of friends, and we just built this friendship. We were deceiving our parents. Besjola, guys. Besjola. We spend time together.
So I think like maybe it's worth me mentioning this, that my mother is so strict. I was raised by a super strict mom. My mom was strict, guys. I remember this one time. I don't know if I should get to this. No, I won't.
Tell us. We want to know.
I'm not doing that. So my mom was very strict, and I was raised by a single mother. So I had to make sure that I hide everything about my relationship, and I just cover up. I make sure that anything doesn't get to her, especially because we were from the same area, and our parents sort of knew each other. So we had to, play our tricks quite well to make sure that we don't get caught.
So, and I mean, now that you've actually mentioned it, right? We come from the same area, and it's funny because we became the best of friends, and we were so attached to each other to a point that we would come holiday time or come, is it recess time, school holidays, would make sure we'd go home on the same day, make sure we come back from home on the same day.
Using
the same bus, our parents knew each other, so in front of our parents would pretend as if we don't know.
That was we actually tricked our parents, babe. We tricked our parents. I don't know if my mom sort of picked it up.
I think my mom picked it up, because the thing is, I'd book a specific seat, because I remember if we're traveling with a Greyhound, we would have to pick seats when booking, right? Yeah. So I'd call you, babe, have you made your booking yet? You're like, no. Okay, please make your booking today. This is the seat that I have picked, right? And you would also do the same thing, So we became so attached to a point that even when we were back home during recess, right? We would spend time with one another. I don't know how you would get out of the house and say, or what you'd say to your mother in terms of where you were going.
I actually want to know what I used to say to mom. I think I used to tell her that I'm going to visit my friends in my land, and my friends that I went to. I'm going out for lunch with my friends that I went to high school with. So I'd say that, and we would meet up somewhere for lunch and just. Spend time together.
I used to ask my mom, like, Mom, can I wash your car today? And ask her if she's going anywhere. She'd be like, okay, she'd tell me, okay, she's not going anywhere. And then be a good boy. Wake up, be a good boy. Ask her, can I wash your car today? I Veda's like, now wash my car,
And then
wash your car, if I wash the car, I know. Then she'll probably give it to me, for the rest of the afternoon. So we used to plan around that, But there were times where I'd have to now wash the car, and I'd take the car out, and whilst I'm with you, my mom would call. I'm like, where are you? Where's the car? And now I have to find ways to actually trick her, But what I'm trying to say is that we became best of friends. So getting to the point where we encourage young people who are in relationship and who are basically looking to be together in the future, and who are looking to building a future with one another or together, is that you need to become friends.
Yeah.
You need to basically spend time with one another. That helped us a lot. It made it easier later on in life. It just made it easier when we started making the serious decisions. So we became best of friends. We used to do almost everything together. We used to go out together. We used to do a lot of dinner dates together.
We used to study together.
Yeah, and that's another important thing. Look who remembered that my baby did. But we used to spend a lot of time studying together, you know, because that's another thing, you know. You guys must balance you must learn to work from each other's strengths, you know, not weaknesses, strengths, you know. So Nos is more focused academically, you know. So she used to ask me, you know, hey mister, it's not all about having fun, you know.
Because you do get carried away.
Yeah, I do. But let's meet. Let's have a study date. You know. So that also became part of our culture. You know, and it is still in terms of when you look at the things that we do today, in terms of the projects that if we're saying, okay, let's start a project of reading. We would, that work ethic is still there, you know what I mean, and that discipline is still there, and because it started from a young age.
I think it's helped us to develop a spirit of working together, because today we do almost everything together. There's nothing that we don't do together, from like our smaller businesses to you know, the reading projects like you've mentioned, to even our activities.
We walk
at
together,
church, like
run together.
We've gotten used to this culture of doing things together.
Yeah, so that's another thing. So it's very important, guys, for you to actually be best of friends. You know, as you going through this journey.
So I think we've said enough for today. You know, we've taken you through our journey. Where we started to where we are now. I forgot to mention something so important. While still growing our relationship, we even came up with a slogan for our relationship. And this is something that made headlines at our wedding day. When we started it, we didn't know that we were creating...
we got it from a movie.
We got it from a movie, we got it from a movie, and then we just drew inspiration from that. And the slogan is...
Our love is forever.
Always has been.
Always will be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that has kept us going, and it was saying these words on our wedding day meant so much, because it was representing, you know, the two young individuals that fell in love, and you know, they lived in the dream, you know, of being godly lovers, you know.
And it came. The thing is, it came to reality. It came to existence.
To reality.
You know? So it's funny. We actually spoke about it back then, right? And then now it came to life.
Yeah.
You know. So that's another thing to also show you that if you are really serious about it and you put your head and mind into it, you can and you will achieve it.
Yeah.
You know. So there's that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Closing
remarks.
You've spoken enough for the day, sir.
But yeah, look, I was about to give a shout out like it's my show.
Okay, baby, you can give a shout out. Who you want to give a shout out to?
No, I just want to say that I really love you and I appreciate you, and like our love is forever. And always has been and always will be.
Always will be.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us this week as we took you through our journey of love, and hope to see you next week. And do drop your comments, like the videos.
From me,
and
it's
from
nothing
me,
but love.
It's nothing but love.